Good morning. I want to welcome everybody today. It's a great day for Missouri, and it's a great day for Missouri agriculture. This has been a long time coming, so thank you guys for coming out. 6 years ago, when I was lucky enough to be named Agriculture Appropriations Chairman in the House of Representatives, I was saddled with this huge debt that we owed these guys that had done what they said they would do and create this biofuel industry. And then we didn't do what we said we would do. We didn't pay them for their efforts. Well, today we're going to put an end to that. Thanks to the help of Governor Greitens and Senator Brown and all the representatives and legislators over in the Capitol, we're going to do what government said they would do a long time ago, and it's a good thing. So with that, I would like to introduce Senator Brown. He's the Appropriations Chair over in the Senate, and without his help, this couldn't have happened. So, Senator?
Thank you. Thank you, Rev. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, this is a great day in Missouri, and I want to thank the governor for releasing this money a little bit early. You know, we had the vision to kind of get the biodiesel industry off the ground. We made investment and to get where it was a standalone industry, and that's where we're at. The governor, realizing the importance of agriculture, as soon as he had the money, and you have to realize there's not always money to do everything we want to do in the budget. When he had the money, he released that, one of his top priorities. So, Governor, I appreciate that. And I want to tell everyone in this audience, everybody understands economic development. This reigns economic development for Missouri.
Thank you, Senator. Next, I'd like to introduce the Deputy Director for Agriculture, Garrett Hawkins.
Well, it's so good to see you all. Director of Agriculture, Chris Chen, wishes she could be here, but you'll certainly understand she is in Washington, D.C. today, part of important international trade discussions. And I know you all know the importance of trade and exports and understand why she is an important voice to have for Missouri farmers and ranchers, and she's at where she needs to be. We have a few employees here from the Missouri Department of Agriculture, from our fuel quality program that obviously care about biofuels, as well as members of our ag business development team, which is exactly what biofuels are, and that's economic development. We are so pleased to see all of our friends and partners from the agriculture industry here. Obviously the Soybean Association, but I see dairy, Missouri Agribusiness, Farm Bureau, corn. We have livestock represented. Truly in agriculture, we are one family, and under Director Chen's leadership, we are working to protect and promote agriculture and take it on to the next level. So obviously, we have to thank our leader, Governor Greitens, for making good on a promise, for helping the Department of Agriculture make good on a promise, and our employees are ready to get this done.
Thank you. Thank you, Garrett. Next, I'd like to introduce somebody that actually knows how to grow soybeans. This guy really relates to this rain and what we're doing today, Warren Stimmey.
Thank you, Craig. It's a great day to be here. Even though it's the middle of planting season, we got a little rain, as the senator said. This is economic development for soybean growers. So the Biodiesel Fund is a government program that worked. With it, Missouri farmers invested in new technology, biodiesel, which is a clean, renewable fuel, didn't require engine modifications, and added value to our soybean crop. And we invested in infrastructure, that is biodiesel plants, to stand up a new industry here in Missouri. The state of Missouri met us at the table, investing in a 60-month grant program for those new biodiesel plants. The biodiesel plants held up their end of the deal. We're now the #2 state in the nation as far as production, producing 200 million gallons a year of biodiesel in this state. And that's over $1 billion with a B dollars of value-added benefit back to Missouri. That's a tenfold ROI on the grant, on the original grant. For the last 8 years, we've been asking Missouri's leaders to make good on their promise with that grant to repay the debt that's been dragging on far too long. And we've had great champions along the way, many of which are here today, both here on the podium and in the crowd. People who helped us repay this thing a little at a time, get it into the annual budget, had creative ideas how to get a few dollars for that fund into the budget in tough years, and who brought forward amendments time after time, session after session, to make sure it was always in the budget and at the forefront. And we've chipped away at that debt, making progress, but we've always come up short a little bit of being fully paid. So in 2015, the soybean growers came to the Capitol and said, we got a plan, we want to get this thing paid off in 3 years. 3 years. Today, we're celebrating the accomplishment of that goal. It's a great day. Woo! Closing the books on this debt to the farmers and biodiesel producers sets us up to continue moving forward. Missouri has always been a leader in the biodiesel industry, and that'll continue. This is good for all of Missouri, growing jobs, adding value, and taking on new challenges. So on behalf of the soybean growers, biodiesel plants, rural Missouri, and really all of Missouri, I wanted to sincerely thank you for your help in getting this to the finish line. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Warren. If you guys leave knowing no other word today than value added, please learn that. Agriculture is the backbone of Missouri, and now that we can grow off of agriculture, we're going to create jobs, we're going to improve our economy, we're just going to go forward. So getting this debt behind us is just one step. Now we can move forward. Now we can move on to new horizons and new challenges. And none of this would have been possible. Like I alluded to earlier, 6 years ago, I was named chairman of Agriculture Appropriations. For the last 4 years, I've had this debt paid off. Every year it's been withheld. But this year, thanks to Governor Greitens and his commitment to agriculture, outstate Missouri, and us farmers, we're going to get this thing done. So please give a big round of applause for the guy that helped us get this done, Governor Greitens.
Thank you, man. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, guys. How's everybody doing? Good, good, guys. It's a great day. It is a great and beautiful day, and it is a good day for rural Missouri. As all of you who are here know, agriculture is our #1 industry in the state of Missouri. With over 108,000 family farms, with over 250,000 people employed in agriculture, as leaders in agricultural technology, with hardworking farmers and ranchers and agribusinesses all over the state. It's our #1 industry. And take a look at our fantastic future farmers of America here, right in the front. And the kind of investment that we're making today is going to make sure that agriculture is also a #1 growth industry in Missouri, and that you've got a bright future in agriculture here in Missouri. That's what we're going to do for you. Folks, rural Missouri is coming back. Rural Missouri is coming back because of the work that we've done now with a lot of good friends and colleagues here. We've got a steel mill in Sedalia. We've got an aluminum smelter in New Madrid. The state of Missouri is moving forward with good quality jobs throughout rural Missouri. And as we're gathered here today, the unemployment rate in Missouri is the lowest that it's been in 17 years. Missouri has moved up 9 places in the rankings of the best states to do business. And what that means is that you've got thousands of families across the state of Missouri now who have a paycheck that they didn't have before. And all of you recognize that a job is more than just a paycheck. It brings a sense of dignity, brings a sense of purpose, it brings a sense of meaning. It helps to strengthen our families, strengthen our communities, and that's why we're making investments like this in rural Missouri. You know, for too long, rural Missouri had been forgotten. For too long, our small towns had been overlooked. Right? Well, that's changed, and that's why today we're keeping our promise to farmers and biodiesel workers across the state of Missouri. That's what they deserve. Today we're releasing $4 million in biodiesel funds to help workers and farmers and to help rural Missouri to grow more jobs and higher pay. And this is only possible. It's only possible because we've got a lot of great friends and colleagues in the legislature who we've worked with. Representative Fitzpatrick has helped us in the House. And folks, Senator Brown, Doc Brown, Doc's a vet, so if you're ever in a real medical emergency and Doc comes over and he grabs you, like you know that you're in good hands though, because this guy comes up every day to work for you. He comes up every day and he remembers who he's here to fight for. Craig Redmond does the same thing in the House. These are guys who didn't have to be here, but they made a choice to come up here and to do what was right for folks in their districts, and they've done it. And because of the work that they've done, today, Missouri is the second largest biodiesel producer in the country. Their work has helped to support over 2,500 jobs. Some major investments, good work. And that's not the only thing that we're doing. Folks, we are also working with our friends and colleagues to make major investments in ports, to support trade and to support Missouri farmers and ranchers and our products so that they can get out and be sold across the world. Right? We're investing in water resources to get this done. And I want to tell you, like, it's almost on a weekly basis, if not sometimes a daily basis, that I get a text from Senator Brian Munzlinger talking about what more we can be doing for rural Missouri and our farmers, our ranchers, and our agriculture community. And Senator, thank you for your championship for rural Missouri and for ag. And other folks I just want to mention who've helped to make this happen, guys like Don Roan, Lyndall Fraker, Sonia Anderson, Jay Houghton, and many more. Right? They're standing up every day for farmers and ranchers. You know, when we were out traveling the state of Missouri, we saw that we had incredible farmers, ranchers, agribusinesses, and they all came to us with a really simple message. They said, we can do this, and we can do this for Missouri, but you have to get government off of our backs. You got to get government off of our backs. They said the regulatory burdens that are facing us and our friends and our families and our neighbors are often overwhelming. So when we came into office, we recognized that here in the state of Missouri, regulations have been growing faster over the last 16 years than they had at the federal level. Here in Missouri, we had 113,000 regulatory restrictions. So what we did was we ordered a complete and full review of every regulation that was on the books. And I'm proud to tell you that as we stand here today, we're getting rid of 1 in every 3. We're getting rid of 33,000 regulations off the books. We're getting government off of your back. Now, the other thing we've been doing, and I'm proud to do, is to make sure that we're making wise investments. You know, folks, there's no such thing as government money. Every dollar that is spent is a dollar that a Missourian owned. Every dollar that we invest is a dollar that a hardworking Missouri family earned. So we've been making common sense reforms. You know, when we came into office, we found out that the government had planes that they didn't need, so we sold them. And after we sold the planes, we found not only did we sell the planes, but we also learned that we could save $40,000 a year in maintenance by selling them. We found out that the government had cars, government cars that we didn't need. So we're getting rid of them and saving you $2 million a year, right? When we do things like that, when we implement common sense reforms, it gives us the ability to make investments in things that work, to help rural Missouri, things that work to help workers and families and businesses across the state. Now, as you know, when you take a common sense conservative approach to government, you can't always make everyone happy. And that's okay. That's okay. And some of the people who are most angry about the fact that we're standing up and fighting for the forgotten, most angry about the fact that we're taking a common sense conservative approach to government, are the ripoff artists who thought that they ran Missouri until all of you stepped up and said, no more. No more. And you know, there's one group that's been ripping you off, and ripping off working class Missourians for years. That's the tax credit millionaires. And they had a little scheme going where they would take your money, taxpayer money, and they'd claim that they were going to use it for a good purpose, like to build low-income housing. Now, Missouri had one of the biggest programs in the country. They were giving away every year $130 million of your money. You look back over the last decade, $1.3 billion. But audit after audit showed that only about 42 cents of every dollar was actually going into low-income housing. And if you want to get a sense for what this looks like, you can go down to one of their buildings in Cape Girardeau, and you could see that every apartment that they built cost $376,000. Think about that, folks. Cost them $376,000 to build one apartment. Now, you all know that it doesn't cost $376,000 to build an apartment. So you ask yourself, where did all of that money go? Where did all of that money go? Well, for the rip-off artists, it was working really well for them. And here in Missouri, we've got a word for that. It's called a scam. And you know what? Those days are over in Missouri. We're not going to let a bunch of rip-off artists continue to steal from you, so you know what we did. We stepped up and we zeroed out their program. We're going to continue every day to work for you and to fight for you, to bring more jobs and higher pay to the people of Missouri, to get government off of your backs, and to make sure that our farmers, our ranchers, and our agribusinesses know that the future in Missouri is bright. And you know, one thing I know that farmers know and that rural Missouri knows is that when things get tough, people come together. You know, I want to let you know, I remember one time when I was in SEAL team training, there was a moment that came. We'd probably been up 48, 72 hours at that point. And as all of you know, the training is often considered some of the hardest military training in the world. They put you through a lot of pain. They put you through a lot of suffering. And we've been up, like I said, 48, 72 hours, and my team, my boat crew, had about 7 guys. We're walking down the beach, and we're carrying a log that weighed a couple 100 pounds. And as we're walking through the soft sand carrying this log, I was absolutely spent. You reach a point where the pain is not just physical pain. It's almost spiritual pain. And as we were stepping forward, step after step, I thought to myself, you know what? If I were alone right now, I might quit. But the fact is, I looked to my left, and I saw somebody who was counting on me. And I looked to my right, and I saw somebody who was counting on me. And I said, you know what? I can be strong for them for 10 more seconds. And if I can be strong for them for 10 more seconds, I can make it for 1 more minute. And if I can make it for 1 more minute, I can make it for 10 more minutes. And I want to let you know, no matter what they throw at me, no matter how painful they try to make it, no matter how much suffering they want to put me and my family through and my team through, I want to let you know that when I look to my left, I see you. And when I look to my right, I see your family and your friends and our neighbors and our community. And I'm telling you this, we are going to step forward day after day after day, and we are going to continue in our mission to fight for the people of Missouri, to fight for the forgotten, and to do what is right. And you all strengthen me and you inspire me, and let's make every day a brighter day for rural Missouri. Thank you guys, and God bless you.
But